Hi everyone, I'm Steph, artist, art tutor. Much like everybody else right now, I am stuck at home, unable to go out, unable to do my job. So what I thought I would do is come online, which is where I am right now, and I don't know, just kind of put a few creative videos on my YouTube channel, just to hopefully get people to do something a bit creative, even if it's for, I don't know, an hour. And it's kind of a way to maybe kind of switch off for an hour with all the doom and gloom that's flying around right now. And what I'll try and do is I will try and make the videos quite varied. I teach lots of people, I teach lots of adults, I go into schools, I teach kids as well. I do know that a lot of my adult learners are missing my arts classes, so hopefully quite a few of those will tune in. I've had messages from parents who are hoping to find something online for their kids to do. So as I say, I will vary the videos. Some of them may be more tailored towards maybe kind of people that are a little bit more well established in their art, but I will also tailor things for younger kids as well. This one today, which is video number 1 for me, so all kinds of things may go wrong. My dog may kind of run in and knock the tripod over, all kinds of things may happen. Today's little video is for anybody, literally anybody. You don't really need to be able to draw. We're going to go abstract today, and I'm going to run through some of the equipment that you will need. I am very aware that not everybody will have the range of equipment that I've got in my room right now. So I have a few alternatives as well. So very quickly, what I'm going to do today will involve selections of coloured paper. Any scraps of paper will do. And you could replace this with bits of fabric if you wanted to. That might work quite nicely. If you haven't got any coloured paper whatsoever, I do have an alternative at the end that I'll show you that doesn't use any of this. Bits of tissue are quite nice, but again, it's not vital. You will probably need a pencil, but I'm guessing most households have got at least one of these knocking around somewhere. I have also used a few pens on mine as well. I've got just a Sharpie, I've got a little fine liner pen. You could even use just an ordinary biro if you haven't got any of these. You will need a pair of scissors, something to draw a straight line with. Where are we now? So you will also need, I don't know, things to draw around. I'm in quite a circular mood today, so I've gone round. And I guess obviously some paper. I'm going quite big today. You could go A4 if you wanted to. You could even go smaller. And it doesn't really matter the quality of your paper. So we will begin. First thing that you're going to need to do is, with your coloured paper, I think my initial advice will be, don't go too colour crazy. You'll notice that I have stuck to sort of greens, blues, and I've gone white and black as well. You don't have to stick to those colours, but what I would say is don't just kind of go rainbow and grab everything, because things start to look a little bit messy then. So with these coloured shapes, all I'm going to do is, sorry, with these coloured paper, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out a selection of shapes, and that's where these things come in handy. What you can do if you want to be super clever is, well, we'll go with green and blue, and I'll stick them together, and we'll just draw around this. And we'll cut this out, so I'll chop it out roughly first. Get Get my thumb caught in the scissors, and then we'll go around this circle. I don't think I've ever been filmed cutting out before. Keep all your offcuts as well, because some of those can give you quite nice shapes. So there we go, I've got kind of 2 circles there. My other big bit of advice as well is try and vary the scale of your shapes as well. You can do some massive and some tiny. And you need to spend quite a bit of time doing this. So you need to have quite a nice pile of shapes in varying sizes. You don't kind of have to do circles, you can do squares, triangles, all kinds of shapes. So just to save a bit of time, because I'm sure you don't really want to be just watching me cutting shapes out, I do have some. So these are kind of what I made earlier. So I'll keep those because they're quite nice. They can go out the way. They can go up there. So as you can see, I have got quite a selection of shapes here. I did tell you I was in a circular mood today. And I will have way too much, but it's better to have too more than too little. So let's get all these off the paper. So once you've got all your shapes, what I then want you to do, and again I want you to spend quite a bit of time doing this, I don't want you to instantly grab your glue stick and start sticking things down, because I want you to change your mind and I want you to play around with things, which I will do. So I am going to start grabbing some of these shapes and I'm just going to start to arrange them on here. I do love to sort of overlap things, build things up. Strange little shape. Let's go up here with that. I'm just checking that you can actually see what I'm doing here. I think you can. If not, then I'm going to have to delete this whole video and do it again. But I think you're going to be alright. Right, I quite like that down there, but I'm not sure about this down here anymore, so I'm going to shift it around. I'm going to move that. We'll have that up there somewhere maybe. Quite like this, but what I might do is I might chop this up a little bit. Let's go kind of moon shaped. That's quite nice. So we'll go there again. I'm still checking that you can see what I'm doing. You can. Right, I need to put some tiny things in. What have I got? What have I got? See, these are just kind of scrap little bits that were offcuts, really. Let's go tiny down here. Can't pick them up. How are we looking? Not too bad, not too bad. I mentioned tissue. Not everybody's going to have tissue. It can be a bit of a pain to cut. It can be even more of a pain to stick. It is quite nice to use though, just because it's quite transparent. So as soon as you start overlaying, it is quite nice. And don't panic if you can't see brilliantly on this video, because what I'll do at the end is I'll kind of hold it up and so you can see the finished thing. This needs a lot more white on it, I think, so I am going to root out some of the white shapes. Chop that up a little bit. See if I run that down there, that looks a lot better. And so I think I'm going to do the same with this circle. I'm going to chop it. Yeah, let's chop. And let's go round like that. Right, still too big. Yeah. And we'll do that one up there. And I would spend quite a bit of time doing this. You know, a lot more time than I'm going to spend right now, because I'm conscious that you may get bored watching me. But as I say, do change your mind. If you want, take everything off and start again. The tricky bit is once you're happy, and I am quite happy with some of this right now. Obviously when you stick things down, you're going to have to work from the bottom. So, for example, if I did want to start sticking, I'm going to have to very carefully scoop that green one out from underneath. And we'll scoop these to one side. I do tend to glue with like a glue stick, Pritt stick. PVA will work. Just be careful with the PVA because it sometimes makes your paper go a little bit wrinkly. Do make sure that you get a fair amount of glue on your shapes, just because otherwise they tend to start to peel away. Right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to scoot all these out of the way, so it never really goes back the way it starts. Also try and be careful that your fingers don't get too sticky, because that way a lot of your shapes will start to get little gluey fingerprints on there. So that's going to go down. And if I remember rightly, I think that one went on next. So I'll just do a few more and then I will skip to one that I've finished. Uh-oh, nearly out of glue. I've not planned that one. And there's my dog barking. Like so, and then I would continue and I would just start to build it up, and as I say, do take your time. So a bit like kind of Blue Peter, I do have one I made earlier, so that can go away. Right. So here's one I fiddled around with just before I set this video up. I did it in exactly the same way that I've just run through, and I did change my mind an awful lot on this one. Interestingly, I think when I started this, I think it started that way up, and then I decided I preferred it the other way up. Looking at it now, I think I actually prefer it this way up, but it's abstract, doesn't really matter. You will notice that what I've done on this one as well, and that's why I did say that you might need some pens. I have started to, I don't know, just embellish this a little bit, fill a few of the negative spaces that I've got. I did most of these just with a fine liner pen, but as I say, if you've not got one of those, just an ordinary biro will do just as well. A few of the more chunkier marks that I've made, I did make these with a Sharpie, and that was it. When I was looking at this, I don't know why, this little negative shape here, this lovely little kind of black curve, reminded me a little bit of a guitar probably. So what I was thinking of doing was I might, and I may as well do it right now, and if it doesn't work I'll regret it. So So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this space in a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. So let's just go in with that. A few lines down here. A few more. And last one. So there you go. I don't know, it just kind of fills the space up quite nicely. And you know, you can make these as complicated as you want. You can keep them quite simple if you wanted to. So that is basically your little challenge today. I just want you to go a little bit abstract. So as you can see, no real drawing involved. Anybody could do it. I did say that if you hadn't got an abundance of coloured paper, there's an alternative way of doing this. I've just fallen off my desk. Similar process, but no coloured paper involved. These were literally geometric shapes, and I just used ordinary sort of kids' crayons really. They mix really nicely. You know, you can blend your colours with crayons, are just lovely to use. I have outlined these again with a Sharpie. So there are alternatives if you've not got all the paper. And finally, well, not finally, there's a few things I need to say. I hate YouTube videos where people constantly ask you to subscribe, but I am going to be one of those people. So if you do know people that would like any of these sort of creative videos that I am going to start putting on, please get them to subscribe. They'll then get notified when I stick more on. I'll try and do them daily, but that may or may not happen. I will also, I mean, I don't mind if you want to share your product with me. Personally, I would quite like to see what people do. I do have a Facebook page, which I'll put a link kind of down in the description somewhere. If there's kids who aren't old enough to be on Facebook, maybe you could get your mums and dads to sort of photograph your work, find my Facebook page, send it to me, and I'll start putting little galleries up. So it'd just be a nice way to kind of see what everybody does with this. And while I am talking of kids at school, if any of you want to pursue this further, there's a few artists that you may like to look at, and I don't know if that is going to be backwards actually. Vasily Kandinsky, he did lots of this. He also was inspired by music as well, which is quite a nice little take on doing abstract art. Miro was another one that used lots of geometric abstract shapes like this, and Mondrian. So 3 artists there if you wanted to look them up. And apologies if that text is backwards. And I think that's me done today. So have fun. If you've got any comments, stick them in the comment section. And if I get a chance, unless I get bombarded and there's thousands, I should be able to reply to people. If anybody wants any advice, message me. So let's just be creative. Thank you very much, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. All right then, bye bye.